This week's Torah portion is Parshat Emor. This week also we celebrated Yom HaAtzmaut. Yom HaAtzmaut literally means Atzma'i. It means, or we define it as Independence Day, Israel's Independence Day. But we also say in Hebrew, Lihiyot Atzma'i. Atzma'i means to be independent of others. And Atzma'i is a tax status in Israel. It means someone who has their own business. They are in control of their own actions, they are in control of their own transactions, and they decide basically the fate and the future and the projection and construction of their own business. To be independent means that I have control over myself. I can produce, I can be effective, and I can be productive, not only for myself, for the people around me, and I can decide that I want to construct and build for whatever it is that I see as a destiny or as a destined future. It's an amazing feeling. And I believe actually that this is what has propelled and compelled the Jewish people time in and time out during all of our persecutions, our long, arduous, challenging, obstructive history. Everywhere the Jews have settled consistently, the story has been the same. They have always been productive, independent figures within the community or the world or the specific locale that they decide to settle in, or that they nomadically are forced to settle in. They have always looked for their independence. They have always looked for ways to be constructive. And I believe that that is really the formula for our existence and why we have been successful even in the state or even in the eyes of adversity, why we have always come out and been able to continue to perpetuate our future, regardless of losses, tragedies that have befallen us. I believe this is a celebration also for this past Independence Day. The proclamation that regardless of, and we all know, October 7th, everything that's going on around us, it seems absolutely just insurmountable. And yet, we long for our independence. Our ability to still proclaim Am Yisrael Chai, we are a Jewish people, and we can continue because we know that we can create. We know that we can form. We know that we have something to offer, not only to the world around us, but more importantly, to the world within us, to ourselves. And this week's Parsha, there's a mitzvah of leket, mitzvah of peyah and leket, providing for a poor person, a person who has a field. They provide for that person an opportunity, the poor person, the needy person, to collect their own wheat, or they leave a portion of their field untouched, unscathed, and they allow the poor person to enter on their own and to collect the wheat and provide for their own provisions, to supply themselves. And the Torah says, don't collect that sheaf of wheat that might fall as you are working or tithing the field. Leave them for the poor person, the ger, the person who might be in need of others. Ani Hashem Elokechem. Says Rashi, ta'azovotam, leave the portions of wheat by themselves. Leave them for the poor people to take. Says Rashi, hanech lifnehem. Leave it in front of them. Don't give it to them, but rather leave it on the floor and let them take it themselves. Vehem yulkatu, they will collect it. Ve'ein lecha l'sayeya le'achad mehem. You are not to offer them assistance at all. From here we learn that the greatest way of offering charity, the greatest offering of tzedakah, of compassion, consideration, kindness in a financial means, is by making a person financially independent, by giving them independence, by allowing them an opportunity to provide for themselves. Number one, you don't embarrass them and demonstrate to them that they are indeed very needy. And number two, you allow them to stand on their own 2 feet and proclaim, I have something to contribute. I am capable of doing this myself. And even though they're poor and they need to collect the wheat from someone else, nonetheless, the fact that they collect it themselves, tazovotam, leave them alone, remind them that they are capable, that will remind them as well that indeed they are capable of creating and forming a new life, a new beginning, and a constructive reason within their own private universe, within their community. It will hopefully give them a resilience to build again. I think, and I've said this many, many times with regards to mental illness, when it comes to people who are suffering and have challenges in their lives, the most important thing that we have to do for people who are confronting mental challenges is remind them you are independent, you are capable, you have something to contribute. Give them a chance to produce, give them a chance on their own, not, yes, helping them and assisting them, but not completely. Reminding them that, yes, we don't have to completely hold your hand. You are able and you are completely capable of offering something to this world. That is the greatest feeling that a person can have. We do it with poor people, we do it within our charities, and we certainly should do it with people who are dealing or confronting with challenges as well. Even today, within everything that we are dealing, we need to remind ourselves that once again we will find our independence, every person on their own, and our nation as a whole. This is the Jewish way, it is the Torah way, and it always will remain the Gila way. Shabbat Shalom.